Ladies and gentlemen, not only do we have two brand new sunspots that are flaring, the sun is kind of freaking out. If you look over here, it's almost like the sun has two tongues and it is trying to rapidly stick them out in succession. And if you look down here, you see our two sunspots, and this one seems to be popping off some smaller flares. So yeah, things are getting interesting. And especially for me, because I've got 14 hours left in my monthly fundraiser and only $1,066 left to raise. So if you'd like to contribute to keep THORnews up and running, I got a snail mail, a PayPal, a Venmo, and a CashApp. All right, here we go. So we've been getting pegged with multiple geomagnetic storms over the last few days, which means we are on high alert for earthquake and volcano activity, and that activity has not disappointed. We had a 6.3 earthquake in Thessaly, Greece earlier this morning, and we've got volcanoes erupting all over the place. Here we're looking at Kavachi. We've got flanked lateral eruption continuing out of Kamchatka as a new cinder cone has formed. Mount Cinnabung has been going nuts for a couple of days, covering the entire area in ash. The Pacaya volcano in Guatemala continues to erupt. Popocatépetl in Mexico has consistent activity after super freaking out for about 3 weeks. Etna's calmed down a little, so now it's just freaking out. And Dave McGarvey says, based on a seismic tremor that started earlier today, the authorities in Iceland are planning for a possible eruption starting soon of the Krushevik volcanic system. So yeah, things are wild. And the earthquake / volcano signal that is in the Caribbean seems to be getting bigger, but we haven't had any activity there, though we've been getting some earthquakes down here. And then if you just look at this grow as it moves off the coast in this whole area, and notice the hot box goes from Mexico all the way almost up to Italy and Greece. Just pointing that out. So I think all the solar activity goes into the planet Earth to the top and the bottom, the auroras, and then that makes the star and her core grow. So when we see a lot of coronal mass ejections, solar flares, or solar wind that bring us auroras, you're going to definitely see more earthquake and volcano activity. And then you combine the gas giants on the same side of the sun, then we are in for a very interesting run, which is probably going to include pink auroras, which were magic tonight or last night in Manitoba. Yeah, the auroras have been super duper off the chain and totally filled with multiple colors. So the air is electric with charged particles. All right, now let's get to the Ides of March storm in the middle of the month, because it's going to be serious. Or wait, did you want to talk about glow-in-the-dark sharks first? Yep, they found glow-in-the-dark sharks off in New Zealand. That's all I have to say about that. But yo, check out this giant low off of the coast and in the Atlantic. And so the storm that is moving off Florida, it's blowing up as it moves off, but it's a large part of this just gigantic low. Things are weird, man. All right, at this point, we can pretty much lock in the chances of severe weather between the 10th and the 17th, as 3 different storms will hit the Midwest, or the mid section of the USA, and then move north. And so, Beth Carpenter, severe weather potential is on the rise, and we will become more prevalent across the midsection of the country as we work into March 10th and beyond. We're talking about Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. What is the U.S.? I don't know what U.S. is. Maybe it's just me and you. Us. Missouri, Arkansas. Yeah, here we're looking at the 16th, and that is a fat and red chunk of rain, which brings heavy flooding potential. And then it will have some severe weather components with it. Yeah, so the vortices is drawing up the stink eye twice between the 14th and the 17th. So we have multiple rounds of severe weather coming up, starting in about a week. All right, we're going to take a look at the latest GFS model run, as we'll get quite a bit of precipitation along the west coast in multiple waves. And then around the 10th, our 3-storm bonanza begins. The first one is a pretty decent storm. The second one looks like the most vicious out of the two. Or actually, maybe it was the third one. That one. Yep. You see that? Okay. So this would be, the Ides of March, the 15th through the 17th. Look how it's got snow, ice, it's got wind components. And then look at yellow heavy rain, red heavy rain, more red heavy rain, and then more yellow, more heavy yellow. And then it may or may not bomb out as it goes off the coast. And then look at the west. We'll be getting hit with multiple smaller storms, but still a constant flow of precipitation. So let me play that for you one more time. So from the 10th through the 17th, the midsection of the USA, we'll get hit with 3 pretty big storms, the third being the biggest, and 2 or 3 of them, if not all 3, will have multiple severe weather components. And so we'll be looking for quite a bit of flooding and quite a bit of power outages, knock down trees, and that type of stuff. Hey, if you want to see something cool tomorrow morning, about an hour before sunset, Mercury and Jupiter will pretty much be conjunct in the sky. And welcome back to the sky, Jupiter and Saturn. They were behind the sun for a couple weeks. I took this picture of the sun this morning, and the sun was kicking. And the auroras are definitely kicking. Images by Stan. Look at the pink in this, dude. This is amazing. And there's some purple in there. Steve. So things are wild, and they're going to continue to get wilder. But I'm very happy the sun is starting to wake up. All right. So if you would love to contribute to THORnews to keep me up and running, like I said, I got a snail mail, a PayPal, a Venmo, a Cash App, a Patron. A whole lot of love for you. 14 hours left in my Ides of March 2021 fundraiser, and only $1,066 left to raise. Every single dollar helps, and a miracle definitely wouldn't hurt. Thank you very much to Asteroid Fight Club. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, David. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, James. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Mist. Thank you, Light Soul. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, JL. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Marlita. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Arnica. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, KJ. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Fairy Tale Inc. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, the Wizard of Oz. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Cody. But you know what? At the end of every monthly fundraiser, when I read the list, I feel very loved and appreciated. So thank y'all very much. It makes me glad that I work as hard as I do and I pour as much time and effort into giving y'all good information. Yeah, dude, with the sun waking up and all the big planets on the same side of the sun, we're in for a bumpy ride for like 2 or 3 more years, volcano and earthquake wise. We'll make it through. We almost always do. Stay cool. God bless everyone. And I will talk to y'all in the near future. Peace out.